So we start with HIEP first.
Yeah, for Trung, I will share the screen.
Oh, okay. So you want to start first, or you want to wait for HIEP to finish?
Oh, that depends on your schedule.
HIEP, you want to go first because you have a plane to catch.
Uh, all right. Yeah. So
Yeah. So we start with so you introduce yourself, Professor Ian. We have two candidates for today, TRAN HOANG HIEP and Mr. Panu
Sorry,
Chong. So
you
we
don't
allow
wait
HIEP to
for
start.
Dr. Long and Kelsey.
I think we go already. We the main team is here already. The others are observer.
Oh, it's not time yet. 10 minutes.
yes.
Yeah,
I think
because
they wait for 10 minutes.
okay, let me ask them.
11
Yeah, you
minutes.
can check with them.
I'm not sure whether Long did not tell me whether he's coming in. Say, what time is your flight today? Yep, can you hear me? What time is your flight today?
Ah, my flight is in the evening. In late afternoon. Yeah. So don't
Okay,
worry.
late afternoon,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
okay, yeah?
Yeah. I still have a lot of time.
Okay.
I am in Hanoi now. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Finish your training?
Yes. I'm training for one Japanese company and another the state-owned company. They learn
Ah,
in the
okay.
weekends, uh,
Oh,
Saturday
weekend training.
and Sunday. Yes.
All right. So your flight is coming back to Ho Chi Minh City.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, we wait 3 minutes, yeah? Then we can start.
Yeah.
Professor Ian. Yeah, very good morning, Professor Ian. Chen Huang here and Panu Chong, Dr. Kate. So welcome to our session on the private defense by our two candidates from Charisma University, Doctor of Philosophy in Business Administration, Chen Huang Hiep and Pan Hu Chong. I have invited Professor Siva, but Professor Siva is not able to join us today. So today will be Professor Ian and myself, yeah? I've invited two observers, Dr. Long from US and Miss Kelsey Khan. I'm not sure whether they are coming in. If they come in, they will come in as an observer. So as it is now, we are ready to start.
Yeah.
Right. And for Professor Ian's information, Dr. Kate will support Mr. Chung in some aspects of his presentation or question and answer. All right. Okay, Howard, we are ready to start.
Yes, I'm ready now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Good morning, distinguished panelists, respected observers, and everyone joining us today. My name is TRAN HOANG, and I'm pleased to present my doctoral thesis defense on the topic effective training methods for Vietnamese corporate learners. First of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks to the esteemed panelists to take the time to evaluate my work. Professor Dr. Ian McCartney, Professor Dr. Pete Oi. I also extend a warm welcome to the observer today, Dr. Kate Turn, and my colleague, Mr. Chung. Today is an important milestone for me, as this presentation presents the result of my academic journey and years of dedicated research. And I am honored to share my findings with you all. I would like to outline the structure of my presentation to provide you with clear roadmap. This presentation is organized into 5 main sections: 1, introduction; 2, literature review; 3, research methodology; 4, results and discussions; and 5, conclusions. Now we come to introduction. For the research background, in recent years, the demand of corporate training in Vietnamese has grown significantly. Businesses increasingly expect well-designed training programs that align with their goals and address real-world challenges. Unlike academic teaching in universities, corporate trainings for business must be practical, result-driven, and customized to workplace needs. Unfortunately, many trainers in Vietnam don't have necessary skills and methodologies to meet these expectations, resulting in gaps between training programs and organizational needs. So based on the problem statements, this research identifies 3 primary challenges. 1, ineffectiveness of current training methods. Training programs often fail to effectively develop the skills employees need to adapt an evolving business environment. And next point is lack of cultural contextual alignment. Training methods are not tailored for Vietnam's unique cultural and contextual characteristics, resulting in the misalignment with the needs and expectations of corporate learners. The next point is integration of digital learning technologies. The COVID-19 pandemic has accelerated the need for digital and remote learning solutions, but the optimal implementation within Vietnamese corporate context still remains unresolved. Based on this, I have the research questions. Question number 1, what are the current training methods used by Vietnamese corporations aligned with the specific learning needs and objectives of their corporate employees? Question 2, what are the key strengths and weaknesses of the training methods employed by Vietnamese corporations in developing the skills and competencies of their employees? Question 3, what cultural and contextual factors unique to Vietnam influence the effectiveness of training methods, and how can these factors be integrated into the design of training programs for improved outcomes? Question 4, to what extent do digital and remote learning technologies impact the effectiveness of corporate training programs in Vietnam? And how can these technologies be optimized for enhanced learning outcomes and accessibility? And question 5, what evidence-based recommendations can guidelines can be formulated to assist Vietnamese corporations, training providers, and policymakers in designing, implementing, and improving effective training programs that address the challenges and opportunities identified in the corporate training landscape. For literature review, in this section, I will provide a detailed review of literature, highlighting the key concepts, previous studies, and research gaps that form the foundation of this study on effective training methods for Vietnamese corporate learners. For concepts, the literature identifies the three primary concepts critical to understanding and enhancing corporate training in Vietnam. One, enhancing corporate training in Vietnam. The current training methods, Vietnamese corporations commonly use the on-the-job training workshops, e-learning platforms, mentoring programs, and seminars. These methods are designed to build a capable workforce and address the organizational challenges. The strength of these training methods is that they use diverse approaches, allow corporations to cater the different learning styles and preferences. And they have the hands-on activities in the class, such as simulations, enable employees to apply theory concept and practical settings, enhancing skill retention. And the e-learning platforms and online course allow the tailored learning paths to meet individual and organizational needs. But they have the weakness in the current training methods. First point is a cost and time limitation, and with weak strategy integration and limited inclusivity. The second point is the cultural and contextual factors in Vietnam shaping effective training methods. For the cultural factors in Vietnam, the culture based on it means that they often the learner respect for authority. The learners often defer to authority figures. This can limit open dialogue and active participant during training, and the collaborative mindset and family-centered priorities. For the contextual factor, it's about the academic growth, technological advancement, and language diversity. So there must be the integration, the strategies between cultural and contextual factors. For the digital and remote learning technologies, in Vietnam, there have been the adoption of digital platforms like e-learning, virtual classroom, and the tools for digital learning tools. And of course, it has some positive impacts on the learning outcomes and accessibility and inclusivity. But they still have some challenge and consideration. We also consider about the previous studies before. One, alignment of training objectives. Two, the trainer competency. Three, training methods and techniques. Four, digital learning technology. Five, cultural and contextual alignment. Six, effective training methods. That before my research, there have been these previous studies. And the literature gaps is a industry-specific training. Limited research on tailored methods for industries like manufacturing, technology, finance, and healthcare. 2. Digital learning technologies. Insufficient studies on the impact and best practice for tools like VR and AR in Vietnam corporate training. 3. Long-term outcomes. It means that at the moment, most of the training program just focus on short-term results, but overlook the long-term impacts on performance, career growth, and organizational success. For comparative studies, lack of analysis comparing training methods for different objectives and contexts. And 5. Cross-cultural training, scarcity of research on training programs for global integration. And 6. Soft skills development is still limited exploration of methods for teaching soft skills like communication, leadership, or teamwork. For the research methodology, first of all, the study area, the research focuses on various industries in Vietnam to ensure the findings are applicable and relevant. This includes manufacturing sector, covering industry focus on production and constructions. 2. Service and healthcare sector, addressing the growing demand for skilled professionals in customer-facing and essential services. 3. Finance and banking sector, examine how financial institutions train employees and handle complex market demands. 4. Educational and training entities, investigating training methods used by organizations specialized in employee education. 5. Research institute, exploring the methodologies in knowledge-intensive environment. And 6. Government bodies, understanding the approach employed in public sector training. These sectors were chosen for their economic importance and diverse training needs, providing the holistic view of corporate learning in Vietnam. For data collection, the data were collected using a multi-method approach to ensure robustness and depth. The methods included questionnaire, structured question aimed at gathering measurable response from broad sample. Surveys, we use surveys to quantify key variables such as training effectiveness and learner satisfaction. And interviews, we conduct interviews with industry professionals to gather qualitative insights into training challenges and strategies. And documents, analyze reports, training manuals, and industry publications to supplement the primary data. This mixed methods approach allows the study to capture both numerical trends and nuanced perspective. For the sample size, the study surveyed 335 respondents representing the target sectors. And this sample size ensures sufficient representation for meaningful statistical analysis. Participants were carefully selected to reflect diverse demographics and professional experience. For demographic profile, we have the category 1, age, 2, education level, 3, industry, and 4, the years of work experience. For the BLS structural model, we apply the construct quality measurement, discriminant validity, predictive accuracy, effective effect size, predictive relevance, collinearity statistic, and Bath coefficient. This session focuses on the result of the data analysis and their implication. The analyst tests the hypothesis formulated in the theoretical framework, providing insights into relationships between the key constructs. Let us have the overview about the hypothesis. X1, there is a positive relationship between alignment of training objectives and effective training methods. Hypothesis 2, there is a positive relationship between trainer competencies and effective training methods. Hypothesis 3, there is a positive relationship between training methods and techniques and effective training methods. Hypothesis 4, there is a positive relationship between digital learning technologies and effective training methods. And hypothesis 5, there is a positive relationship between cultural and contextual alignment and effective training methods. For data analysis approach, the analysis was conducted using PLS-SAM. This study allowed for the testing of complex relationship between the theoretical framework. On this slide, we will delve into the construct quality measurement, which ensure that the construct in our research are both reliable and valid. This step is critical as it lays the foundation for the credibility of the findings and ensure the construct adequately reflect the theoretical concepts we are measuring. The outer loadings above 0.875 to 0.903 is satisfactory. And once we are extracted values for the required 6 factors above the 0.7 is significant. On outer loading above the 0.7, confirming that individual items strongly represent their respective construct. With this strong construct quality, that we can confidently proceed to analyze the relationships between the variables using the PLF's SAM path analysis, which help us test our hypothesis and draw meaningful conclusion. Now, we will focus on discrimination validity, which is the crucial aspect of our data analysis. In this slide, we can see the result represented in the table format using the HIEP method. This method compares the relationships between constructs, while the AVE can quantify the proportion of variance explained by the items with each construct. Let's consider one by one, right? Number one, alignment of training objective. The AVE of 0.718 tell us that the items under this construct are strongly correlated and capture the intended dimensions effectively. 2, cultural and contextual alignment. The AVE of 0.701. This construct reflects a solid representation, but its relationships with other construct highlight areas where the cultural nuance would be better addressed. Number 3, digital learning technology. This is has the highest AVE at 0.722. This highlights its importance in modern learning environment. For effective training methods, the AVE is 0.668. Is this is our main goal, but it is slightly lower than the others. It shows the room for improvement, particularly in bridging the gap between the theory, knowledge, and practical application. 5, training competencies. The AVE is 0.690. This construct demonstrates that trainers are important to the success of any program. And 6, training methods and techniques. The AVE is 0.702, and consistently strong outer loadings underscore the importance of practical and interactive methods. In summary, these 6 constructs work together to create a comprehensive framework for evaluating effective training methods. By improving these constructs, the organizations can design training programs that not only meet the individual learning needs, but also align the broader organizational goals. Now we come to this slide where we discuss the predictive power of the model through R-square and Q-square. For R-square value, the R-square adjusted value is 0.656. This means that 65.6% of the variation in effective training methods is explained by the independent variables: alignment of training objective, training competency, training methods and techniques, digital learning technology, and cultural contextual alignment. This reflects a strong explanatory power of the model. Q-square value. The Q-square value is 0.410, calculated using the the formula, the SSE, SSO. Q-square value greater bigger than 0 indicates predictive relevance. Here, the Q-square of 0.410 signifies that the model has the moderate ability to predict outcomes for the effective training methods construct. For the collinearity statistics, VFI, and the effect size, F square. The VFI here, all the constructs have the VFI values below the critical threshold of 3, confirming low multi-collinearity. And F square values for the construct range from 0.089 to 0.246, which represent moderate to high impacts. Digital learning technology, F square is 0.246. This is the largest effect size, indicating the substantial influence on effective training methods. Alignment of training objective, F square is 0.156. This is a meaningful contribution. Cultural and contextual alignment, F square is 0.154. It shows its importance in shaping effective training. And then trainer competencies, F square is 0.145. This is another significant contributor. And training methods and techniques, F square is 0.089, although it is smaller, but it's still at the unit value. So the R square and Q square values are highlight that the model is both explanatory and predictive for effective training methods. The VFR, the VIF values confirm that multicollinearity is not an issue. And the F square value demonstrate that each construct has a meaningful and unique insights to the model. This finding underscore the reliability and robustness of the model in understanding the factors influence effective training methods. In this section, we will explore the highlights of the hypothesis result on the left hand and the diagram of structural model on the right hand. It illustrates the relationships between the constructs and the impact of effective training methods using path coefficients and hypothesis testing. All hypotheses are accepted, confirming significant positive relationships between independent constructs and effective training methods. Digital learning technologies is the most impactful construct, highlighting the growing importance of digital tools in corporate training and aligning training objectives and contextual factors coupled with competent trainers and engaging methods collectively enhance training effectiveness. Now we come to the conclusions. Just summarize the key findings of this research, outline opportunities for future research, and address the study limitation. Let me walk you through the result, future research and limitation sections. For the result, the research successfully meets its objectives, providing significant insights into improving training methods for corporate learners in Vietnam. Through carefully analysis, the study identifies 5 key factors that play a crucial role in driving training effectiveness. All factors supported: alignment of training objectives, cultural and contextual alignment, digital learning technology, training competency, and training methods and techniques. Effective trainings has a moderating effect. For the future research, it can be the longitudinal studies, comparative analysis, technological adoption, impact assessment, customized training solution, multimodal learning, skills gap analysis, sustainability and CSR, inclusivity and diversity, employee feedback mechanism, government policies, and remote work training. While study provide a robust insight, it is essential to acknowledge its limitation. One, the same size and generalizability, limited to specific industries in Vietnam, restricting broader applicability. Two, cross-sectional design captures a relationship at one point in time, limiting causal insight. 3, self-report data, risk of bias like social desirability and subjective responses. for single country focus. Results may not generalize to other countries or cultural contexts. And 5, measurement validity. Potential bias in measurement tools need further refinement. Future research should address these issues to improve validity, reliability, and generalizability. And these are our recommendations from this research. One, engage diverse learners, cater to 4 learner types, why learners, what learners, how learners, and what if learners. 2, structure learning flow. Start with the objective, why, define the objective first, and deliver knowledge, what, right? Then how, it means that the incorporate hands-on practice in the class. And what if, it means that we encourage and foster discussions for creativity. 3, competency development. Focus on 3 levels. The first level is awareness, mean understanding. The second is application, or practical use. And the third level is problem solving or critical thinking. Combine the different style of developing competency for the employees, like education, training, coaching, mentoring, and also the counseling for holistic growth. Recommendation 4, cultural and technology integration. Align programs with Vietnam cultural values and workplace dynamics, while leveraging the digital tools like e-learning, VR, AR, gamification, edutainment, and analytics for engagement and efficiency. And recommendation 5, continuous improvement. Use a KPI, skill metrics, and certifications to measure the success. Collect feedback, monitor progress, recognize achievement, and adapt to emerging trends to ensure sustained workforce development, motivation, and organizational growth. The researchers, trainers, educators, policymakers, and businesses can leverage these findings as a valuable reference for future studies on training on or teaching methodologies. The results are particularly relevant for enhancing approaches to corporate learning, providing insights into effective strategies for improving outcomes and addressing learner needs. This study serves as a foundation for developing practical, evidence-based solutions in corporate education and training context. Yeah, this is the end of my presentation. It is a slide about myself as a trainer. I have 30 years of working in the bank and nearly 20 years as a trainer, coach, and consultant for Vietnamese business. Thank you very much for your attention, and I am very happy to welcome your feedback and your opinions. Thank you.
And Dr. Pete, you need to turn on your microphone.
Thank you. So thank you, Dr. Tran Hoang here, for your clear presentation. It is very structured and well presented. So, Prof, you have a question for HIEP?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Howard, a very good presentation and an excellent topic, and I think the parameters of your study are very sound. Could you go to your last slide, which was the your
Yeah.
conclusions, I think. If you could just go,
Recommendation.
yeah, recommendation, just no, the next one, the very last one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, what I want to talk to you about is some of the implications of your study. And the first one is in terms of the cultural cultural aspects of Vietnamese society and business, and how that might impact upon such areas as competency development. I think that you mentioned earlier in your thesis that Vietnamese society is very group orientated, family orientated, and possibly also authority orientated as well. That perhaps Vietnamese employees are more willing to sit back and listen to what authority figures say rather than to engage in what can we say, critical thinking and critical engagement, I guess, with those in authority. So, how would you reconcile this particular challenge in perhaps trying to cater for a Vietnamese society as it is, but yet trying to develop a more critical, outspoken, authority challenged, basis of for employees to be able to perhaps engage more actively in the way a business is managed and to move, the debate forward in a business environment.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much
That was a
for
long
your
question.
question. Yeah. Uh, I yes, it's a very interesting question. For the Vietnamese culture, uh, I think that uh, maybe it's not the critical problem, but it's a challenge for the for all the trainers because according to the Vietnamese culture, people when they come to the class, they always respect the teacher, especially when the teacher is a elderly person and a high rank position in the society. And they just believe in the teacher. Like in the university, right? The students, they come and they listen and they believe everything from the teacher and the trainer. It's the same, it's a similar in the corporate training, at least according to my experience. I try to encourage them to think different from what I am thinking. And they can have the critical thinking, they can have a more question, and also that they can argue with me. However, most of the learners, they are not, right? They do not do that. I think that this is it will the limit. It made the limitation of the effectiveness of the training. Why the
Mhm.
corporate learners are experienced people, they are working, so they need right to be more positive, more aggressive in learning. Right. That is one point. Another point is
Mhm.
about the family center. It means that when we make the schedule for the training, we should consider about their family. Let's say they study at weekends, right? I am in Hanoi now, and I just yesterday I organized the training course for a company, right? Some of the participants they are not very happy when they have to learn,
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
example, in the evening or weekend, because at the time they use for their family, right? Or
Mhm.
maybe the time we cannot organize the training course which um, end of the, that means that the ending time is too late because they have to quit from the class and they go to the kindergarten to take children from there. So I think that the family um, um, uh, elements, right, partly affect to the decision of the training or the learning. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Dr. Pete,
Yeah.
do you want to carry on the questioning or?
Yes. So here, your research, your recommendation is like 5 points for everyone. But from the cultural context, did you focus your research on the different part of Vietnam? For example, your north, central, and south, the culture are different. So that cultural context from north, central, and south may have an impact on how your solution will be for
Yeah.
the learners from the different part of Vietnam.
Yeah.
Or will your solution is one stop similar for north, central, and south?
Yeah.
You get my question?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Pete, for your very interesting question. I understand there are the differences between the learning cultures in the South and the North. Uh, for example, the people learner from the South, they mainly I say that they're the what learners. I mean, what learners, I mean that they come to the class, they listen and they require the teacher or the trainer to provide them the as more as possible the knowledge. So we prepare for them I mean that the materials are very clearly and we speak more. But the people in the South, they want to act. It means that they are the how learner. So we have more case studies or more practice in the class. However, sometimes I cannot identify. So my solution is that before the training course, maybe the 3 days or maybe 1 week, I send them the questionnaire to, I say that the TNI, training needs analysis questionnaires. I send to the HR department and I ask the HR department to convey these to the participants. I can set up on the Google form about the 10 or 20 questions. I would like to hear about their position, about their duties in the company, and what they have already learned, especially what are their preference when they come to the class. They would like to listen or they would like to act in the class. Um, uh, uh, in their mind, what is the good teacher? All right. So when I collect to these the answers from these questions, I can imagine. I can understand the learning styles of the participants. It's very helpful to me. One of the solution is that I do the TNI, training needs analysis, before the training.
All right, thank you very much for your information. I think that is very helpful for you to engage the different group.
Yeah.
But your research, does it distinguish between the learners from the different type of companies, such as when you do training for multinational company,
Yeah.
like the Japanese company or the American company, or when you do training for the Vietnamese company or the local company, SME?
Yeah.
Is there a difference, or did your research cover that two different group?
Yeah, it's a bit different. For example, if it means that all my participants are Vietnamese, even they are working in the Japanese company or American companies, but they are Vietnamese. But there is a bit different. For example, the state-owned Vietnamese companies, they are very passive. But the Japanese company, sometimes I see that the people from Japanese company that they are also passive, right? Because the Japanese style, all right. But other company like the Western company, Europe company like Friesland company, right? Friesland company or Lavi, they are very aggressive. The difference is about that because this is their corporate culture in the company. It makes them more aggressive. However, the similarities of all the Vietnamese learners is that they uh, they admire the teachers and they wait until to listen to the teacher much. That I think that is the similarities of Vietnamese learners. So I can, based on that, right, some differences and some similarities, and then I design my training course to be more suitable to each. Normally, that when I come to the class, I have the warm up about 15 minutes. 15 minutes at the beginning of the course. The warm up will help me to understand more about the characteristics and the expectations from the participants, and it's helpful for me. Yeah.
So my last question is, do you think corporate culture will have an impact on the Vietnamese learners, on the effective training methods for Vietnamese corporate learners? Company culture.
Yeah.
Will
Yes.
company culture have an impact on this research?
Yeah. The in this research, we also mentioned a bit about the culture, right? But not really the corporate culture. And I would like to put it in the future research. But I understand that, right? In the corporate culture, there are many factors. And one of the factors is the learning culture. Learning culture is one of the factors in the uh, corporate culture. And it's very interesting for me to research in the future.
All right. Thank you,
Yeah,
Dr.
thank you,
Hiep.
sir.
Yeah, I'm done. Professor Ian?
And just one last quick question. You've have a lot of experience, Dr. Howard, in training. I'm just wondering if you could just one moment. We've got we've got some. Okay. I'm just wondering if you've noticed a change in Vietnamese culture over the past 20, 30, 40 years that has been significant.
Yeah. Unit 20, 40 years, you mean the age
No, I
of
mean from the time that you have been training. I'm just
ah,
wondering if you have seen any changes, any significant changes in Vietnamese culture, and how that may have impacted upon your training method.
yes, I can see the changing. I can see the changing. Why? Because it's based on the company, first about the company policy. In the past, for example, the 20 years ago, Vietnamese companies they did not pay, the leaders did not pay much about the training or how to develop the competency of the staff. They just recruit the staff and they use the staff. But 20 years ago, training was not very active. But now, right, all the leaders, they understand about that. So they put I say that the learning KPI for the participants. So the participants nowadays, when they come to the class, they are more positive than in the past. Second, about the change of the society. Uh, the learners they understand that one of the strengths for them is the competency. So they are facing the competition among themselves and other colleagues or other competitors. So they understand that competency is very important. So training can help them to overcome the weight competency. So I mean that the way of learning or the attitude of learning have been changed. Another point is that nowadays the technology, like I say, that information on internet and also the platforms e-learning can help them a lot. So sometimes when they come to the class, they together they use the technology. For example, that when I am training in the class, I am speaking, but the participants they check what I am saying with the ChatGPT. They compare, right? So I see that that is also the challenge, but it's I think that a very good point of view, very good things. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Howard, and thank you for your most comprehensive review of your dissertation. Work very well done, and it's good to hear all you speak about your research. And I mean, that's what we're really looking for in a Viva, to hear what, in a very practical way, you've learnt through your research, and we appreciate what you've shared with us. Thank you, Dr. Pete.
Yeah, thank you
Right.
very much.
So thank you, Dr. Howard. Welcome to the Charisma faculty. I mean, Charisma community, yeah, of doctors.
Indeed. Well done,
one more
Dr.
thing.
Howard.
Yeah.
Yes, Dr. Cake.
Last question. Dr.
Yeah.
HIEP, so can groups of indicators that you can recognize and group them into 3 groups of learners, like the what, the how, the why?
4 groups.
Is there any, 4 groups? Any kind of significant signal for you to identify?
Yep. Thank you, Dr. Kate. Right. I really like your question. Can I use this slide to explain more about this? This is to my experience. I divide my learners into 4 groups. 4 groups of learner: why learner, what learner, how learner, and what if. For example, so some learner, they are the first group, why, right? They always ask themselves, why should I attend this training course? For example, that their leaders force them to the class, but they don't like the class at all. They don't know why they have to come to this class. All right, and they cannot understand. They cannot study in that class, right? So, but another person, right? They come to the class to learn. They learn everything, right? They would like to acquire the knowledge and acquire any information. The third type of learner, it means that they don't like to listen, right? They like to act. So they come to the class, they would like, they ask themselves that how can I apply what I have learned to my real work? And another, I mean that these learners, they have experience, they are very good already. So they come to the class, sometimes they do not believe the teacher. All right. And they say that, right, if I don't believe you, if I don't follow teacher, but I think different or I do different, can I? Right. So normally I divide the participants in the class into 4 groups like this. And then I will organize my training flow in this way. Well, for example, the first of all, I should define the learning objectives. When they know the benefits of the training course or the objective of the training course, right, they are motivated to learn, right? For the second group, right, we prepare the information, we prepare the training manual or materials very carefully, and we are willing to share, to answer any question from them. They are satisfied. For the third class, right, they need practice, they need activities in the class. So we will prepare the I mean, that the hands-on practice, the role play in the class for them to practice right in the class. For the last group, I mean that the what if, it means that they have the critical thinking. In this case, we should design the case study for them and let them discuss, let them present in the class, and let them ask the critical thinking question in the class. Yeah. Yeah. Is my answer satisfactory to you, Dr. Kate?
Thank you, Dr. Hiệp. So my last comment is that I also use the same formula when I do marketing for Dr. Biz programs. I also apply the same thing. So
Oh,
yeah, in the marketing material, I also define the four groups like that, and to satisfy the income of information so that the learner can decide.
yeah. I'm happy to hear so, Dr. Kate.
Thank you. Dr. Long, do you have any question for Dr. Hiệp?
No.
Okay.
All right.
Dr.
Welcome,
please.
Dr. Long.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good morning, Dr. Long.
Good morning. Okay, so we have just finished a presentation by Dr. Howard.
Yeah, thank you
So
very
we
much.
also thank you for your guidance on for him on his research topic.
Yeah.
So for Professor Ian, Dr. Long is now our main supervisor for the PhD group.
Yes, a very familiar
Yeah,
name
so,
to me.
yes, so we will. All right, so now we will continue with, so Dr. Kate, we are fine to continue with Mr. Chung. Can we take a 5 minutes break?
Okay.
Prof, we take a 5 minutes break and then we continue with Mr. Chung's
Okay,
presentation.
okay. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, 5 minutes break.